wind is shown to be blowing, and everyone who has ever had paper outside will know that even the most gentle breeze will knock over a picture like that. Also, how long has that picture been there? Didn't we see the same photo and disconnected? Surely the natural elements such as wind and rain have made it deteriorate by now. Also, Charlotte's gravestone is, shall we say, minimalist. It's not like the novels never established her last name or date of death. This is sure one clever way to only build a small area of a map and nothing else. But you can't fool me, Seth. If you're wondering why I'm only calling out Seth when the video was made by the entire Enchanted Mob team, it's because most fans never care to read the credits anyway. Plus, I know you're watching this, Seth.
I'm on to you.
These orange window lights may look nice in the scene, but the windows are too big and the light is too orange to be plausible. While it's true that Chicago used orange-colored high-pressure sodium vapor lights for nearly 50 years, that was only for streetlights, not buildings. The lighting is inconsistent anyway, since we can see that whiter light exists in this universe. Case in point, the Emily's house. What just happened? Did the virtual camera suddenly go out of focus? It doesn't add anything to the story or the animation other than making the pictures harder to see. Nice use of Enchanted Mob's budget, Seth. Some poor artist spent days making those photos just for Seth to blur them out. And no, Seth, it's not stylistic. Again, with being cleverly lazy, this is both a great way and a lazy way to simulate curtains. Though considering that pine trees are given incredible models later in the animation, I have to send these sheets of paper pretending to be cloth. Come to think of it, these are the same curtains from Seth's Save Me animation. Although I like the consistency, you can tell Enchanted Mob's graphics have improved since then, which now makes these curtains stand out all the more. Hush now, drift off to sleep. How did Henry open that door? His arm is nowhere near long enough to push that open, especially when he's behind his wife. Wow, Henry, your doorknob sure is shiny. Wait, no, it's just too specular. Clearly Seth has never seen Moana. Mrs. Emily's arm is clipping into her face just a little bit. While understandable, we are obligated to sin it. Don't be scared of what you find. Stretchy mustaches. The band-aid of invisible lips. Dream your dream, 'cause when you're awake. All of these papers are identical, right down to these random gray rectangles. I guess Seth never learned how to write. Henry's tie gets stuck for a little bit here. The table stops suddenly on its side instead of falling onto its face as a real table would have, especially considering Henry gave it one hearty shove. Henry's hand is just a little bit shaky on that box there. Henry is apparently able to grab a picture, not from the frame, but by the glass. Henry might actually be Spider-Man.
Please stop sticking.
Putting a wedding ring on a Minecraft model like this just looks wrong. And again, Mrs. Emily's model is the exact same from Enchanted Mob's Save Me video, just with a different color scheme. Consistency should not get in the way of improvement. Also, while we're on this subject, why does Henry's wife have a ring if Henry doesn't? Please stay faithful, Henry. Please stay faithful, Henry. Please stay faithful, Henry. Rows of teeth penetrate. Please don't ever smoke, kids.
Don't smoke. It doesn't make you grown up. It makes you a loser.
Seems like the light effect meant for the cigarette filter can't keep up with the rest of the model.
There's no escape, the veil is raised.
I don't think Seth has ever seen someone take a real drag of a cigarette before, because not only was that puff of smoke very weak, but the cloud of secondhand smoke was delayed by a good half second as he exhaled.
Every mistake visible. So was it me after?
Unless Henry has camera lenses for eyes, there's no way he could have recognized Michael here. Not even the audience could see this name tag a moment ago, but now it's clear as day. Also, isn't Henry in his, mid-60s in this video? He has amazing eyesight for even a young person. This must be Seth projecting, since he recently had to get glasses in real life.
A music box that creaks the melody.
If someone pulled me out of an alleyway to offer me a job, I would assume that this job is breaking some laws, and would, with my human brain, avoid taking this job because I know that breaking the law is bad. Michael, though, doesn't have that amount of thought. Like father, like son, I guess. Kids, if someone hands you a business card like this, you run. That person is evil. What are you teaching your fans, Seth? What, are you gonna tell your fans to get into a white van that promises candy and puppies in your next video?
But only for one more breath. The last one you might.
The blur behind Henry here causes a table leg to glitch. This is probably due to subsurface scattering.
Might have
There's a teeny tiny lighting error right here on Henry's shirt. That or Henry spilled his beef burrito from lunch all over himself. Yet another example of the blur put on the background that causes this sort of heat mirage effect on the chairs and table. While interesting, this doesn't make sense here.
dream your dream, 'cause when you're awake.
Why are their eyes glowing red? In every other animation, the regular toy animatronics have eyes that glow white. Consistency, please.
Nightmare away.
Did you just blink with only your eyebrows?
Dream your dream, 'cause
Copy pasting saves time, but not sins. Sorry about that.
they'll be seeing you soon. Nowhere left to go, terrors keep breaking through.
This picture's voxelization is so poorly done. I could have sworn this was drawn on a kitty-sized MS Paint canvas. Not to mention, why is it voxelized when all the other portraits in the Emily household were non-voxelized rendered images? Okay, the thing is, Steven, used to work for Enchanted Mob, and well, I made this image. But I swear, it looked better when I made it! Seth must have messed it up somehow.
The ticking clock breaks the
Henry's fingers aren't far down enough to be properly flicking the briefcase clasps up, but if they're at the right height, they'd be clipping into the table worse than the clasps clip into his fingertips. Okay, who wrote this? Come on, who wrote this? It's a tongue twister, but you can't expect me to read this and not mess up. Jeez.
breaks the spell with every beat.
And here's where Henry becomes the most visually unappealing thing in Minecraft ever. The trees get beautified, more realistic models, yet the flowers and mushrooms aren't given the same treatment. What is this?
So dream.
Charlotte's arms are held up in place while she swings, causing the rope to go right through them. Charlotte's arms clip through her head briefly here. The top of this present is a solid block. Also, Charlotte isn't even looking down into the box. The floor must have been way more interesting than the present, which makes me wonder if her parents are actually good parents. My theory is that Seth was traumatized when his parents gave him an avocado for Christmas. What is going on here? It looks like there's a fold in Henry's eye. There is no way radio signals from a dinky remote like that could ever travel that far through a city. Molten Freddy just kind of slides forward here. Check out how smooth Michael's car is. What kind of suspension system have you got in that thing? This car's headlights do not equally light the road as it does dirt. Where are these animatronics going? The world may never know. Molten Freddy's eye glow doesn't properly track to his head. This lighting makes the letter look like it's floating. Mrs. Emily doesn't pick up this piece of paper. She magnetizes it to her hand. Wait, so are you telling me that Mrs. Emily is made out of metal? If so, did Afton build Henry his wife? Wait a second. If Afton Robotics can make lifelike humanoids, why not sell them to desperate men like, well, Seth actually? Maybe Afton is Mr. Wallace from Blade Runner 2049. In conclusion, this video was really good. Sure, it's not perfect, but it's super refreshing to see a Minecraft music video focused on the story above all else. This video isn't about having the flashiest graphics. Instead, it has a lot of heart and passion, which Enchanted Mob's fans rewarded by having it be the lowest performing installment in the Disconnected series. Good work, folks.
darkness, my old friend.
An experience in shock, more shattering than your strangest nightmare. Night of the Living Dead.